with the exclusive top news headlines for our viewers today. The top 10 news of the day are: Russian troops occupy Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, informs Ukraine. Warns of explosion after nuclear power plant attack, says Europe will be wiped out. US slaps fresh sanctions on Putin's cronies, Russian oligarchs over war against Ukraine. Ukrainian parliament allows seizure of assets owned by Russia or Russians in Ukraine. Another Indian student shot in Ukraine's Kyiv, hospitalized. Minister of State General V.K. Singh confirms. Hijab issue leads to confrontation between college students in Mangalore. Mamata Banerjee on board, turbulence hits jet while landing in Kolkata. AICC hires Sunil Kanugolu as chief election strategist for Grand Old Party. Haryana government introduces anti-conversion bill in assembly, causes uproar. New Zealand women lose World Cup opener to West Indies after last over meltdown. Russian troops occupy Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, informs Ukraine. After a fierce gun battle, the Russian military has occupied the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant on Friday, informed Ukraine's State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate. The agency issued a statement that a fire broke out at the training building outside the NPP at 5:55 am and was extinguished by 6:20 am. The fire, due to heavy shelling by the Russian army, was localized on an area of 2,000 square meters, states SNRIU. Zelensky warns of explosion after nuclear power plant attack, says Europe will be wiped out. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky called on allies to stop Russia's attack after Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant caught fire due to the Russian shelling on Friday, posing the threat of a nuclear catastrophe. In an emergency address on Friday, Zelensky said Russia is the first country in the world history to fire on a nuclear power plant. US slaps fresh sanctions on Putin's cronies, Russian oligarchs over war against Ukraine. US on Thursday slapped sanctions on 8 prominent Russian oligarchs with close ties to President Vladimir Putin, leveling additional penalties on Moscow for what is termed as unprovoked war against Ukraine. According to the White House, the financial assets of those enlisted would be completely frozen and they will be cut off from the US financial system. Additionally, it also imposed visa restrictions on 19 Russian oligarchs and 47 of their family members and close associates. Experts have deemed that the new sanctions would hit a handful of opulent Russians who are close to President Putin. Ukrainian parliament allows seizure of assets owned by Russia or Russians in Ukraine. In a major development, the Ukrainian parliament has approved a law to allow the seizure of assets owned by Russian or Russian citizens in Ukraine. Reportedly, the government can suggest which assets to seize to the Security Council, which will then give its approval for transfer to the state ownership. This development comes ahead of the second round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, which will begin shortly. Delegation of both sides has reached at Belarus-Poland border for negotiations. Another Indian student shot in Ukraine's Kyiv, hospitalized, Minister of State General V.K. Singh confirms. In a major development from the war-hit Ukraine, another Indian student has been shot while he was on his way for evacuation and was immediately taken back midway and was hospitalized. This came just a few days after an Indian student lost his life in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Hijab issue leads to confrontation between college students in Mangalore. Two groups of students from two colleges in Mangalore confronted each other over the hijab issue on Friday. The police intervened to restore normalcy in the college campus. Students from P. Dayananda Pai and P. Satish Pai Government First Grade College in Mangaluru confronted each other over the issue of wearing a hijab in the classroom. The Karnataka High Court has reserved its judgment in the hijab case after 11 days of back-to-back hearings. Mamata Banerjee on board, turbulence hits jet while landing in Kolkata. Mamata Banerjee's chartered flight hit turbulent air pockets minutes before landing at the Kolkata airport, sources have said. She was returning from Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi after campaigning for the Samajwadi Party. No one has been injured in the incident. The pilot managed to safely land the craft, the sources have said. AICC hires Sunil Kanugolu as a chief election strategist for Grand Old Party. The Indian National Congress has hired poll strategist Sunil Kanugolu to lead the elections for the Grand Old Party. Sunil, who earlier worked with DMK, AIADMK and BJP, will work with Congress for the upcoming state elections. Sunil is expected to start his work from the Karnataka elections and later handle every state election for Congress. As per sources, long-standing talks were happening between Prashant Kishore and Congress, but the party was divided over Prashant's entry. Haryana government introduces anti-conversion bill in assembly, causes uproar. The Haryana government on Friday introduced the anti-conversion bill in the assembly, causing an uproar as the opposition raised strong objections to the bill, citing religious discrimination. The Prevention of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Bill was introduced during the budget session. The bill prohibits religious conversions which are effected through misrepresentations, force, undue influence, coercion, allurement, or by any fraudulent means, or by marriage, making it an offence. New Zealand women lose World Cup opener to West Indies after last over meltdown. New Zealand women got off to the worst possible start to a home World Cup as they lost their opening encounter to West Indies after a last over meltdown. The White Ferns, as the New Zealand women's cricket team is called, had managed the chase of 260 runs quite well till they lost the plot in the final over. Well, this was all about the top 10 news of today. Stay with us, we shall bring you top 10 news every day. This is Aparna Singh reporting for iScope Media.